It's 10 o'clock, so I think we can start. Welcome everyone at our informative webinar about the new edition of the iCapital Awards. Today we have with us representatives of almost, I hope, registered 50 cities. First, I would like to start with the short round the table for you to introduce yourself, briefly explain from which city are you, have you already applied for the iCapital Award, or is it the first time? Our webinar will take 1.5 hours. It will be recorded. During the presentations, please mute yourself. If you have any questions, please post those in a chat box. It will be very nice if you could also post the city of which you are representing for us to be able to know exactly how to address the questions. And we will start after the short introduction from your side with the presentation from the European Innovation Council and SMEs Executive Agency, which is leading the work on the iCapital Award. We have Jorge and Catalin with us, who will give you a short overview of the new criteria and the new dimension of the award. We'll have them the presentation of the iCapital winner 2020 City of Leuven with Catherine, who will present the application, the work of City of Leuven, and later on you will have all the time, well, actually half an hour, to ask all the questions that you really would like to ask to the European Commission, to the European Innovation Council representation, to the Leuven, how they actually won the award, and also if you can express if you are willing to apply this year. That would be very helpful for us. So thank you very much for joining. I see that we have the representatives of the cities. If some of you can unmute and introduce yourself, that would be very, very nice. Maybe I will start first with Christophe. Christophe, hello, good morning.
Hello. I put on my camera. Hello, good morning from Brussels today. Christophe from Lille Métropole. I'm the head of Lille Métropole EU office. We have not applied for iCapital, but 4 years ago, I think on the first application, we wanted to do it, but it was not possible for metropolis to apply. But I think from then it has changed. We don't know exactly if we'll apply this year, but maybe next year.
Thank you very much, Christophe. I'm still in the French part of the European Union. Good morning, Luc. Hello, hello.
Maybe I didn't understand it. I'm Luc?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm from the Marseille, ex-Marseille province metropolis, and we are organizing a large community, local community to study our possible candidature to this 2021 edition, but it's not already sure. So that's why we are following this webinar today. Thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome, Luc. I don't know if more of you would like to introduce yourself. I see Elina from ESPO. Good morning, Elina. No, I think Elina is muted. So I think we can already, hello, hello.
Hi, my name is Emilio Lista and I am from the City Council of Madrid, Spain. And we approached for the candidates of 2021 European Innovation Capital. And we already did in 2018. And we rise to the semifinals. And we hope this time we will win the award. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else would like to take the floor, or we can just start with the presentation?
Well, just
Angela, hi.
Yeah, hi. Just a quick hello from Dortmund, Germany. We have applied in 2019 and also made it to the semifinals. And this year we will apply again.
That's great. Thank you very much and welcome, Angela. I see that we have one hand up. Please, Stefan. I don't know if Stefan can hear me or unmute yourself, or it was the accidental hand up.
Not unmute myself.
Okay.
Does it work now?
Yes.
Okay, I could not unmute myself, sorry.
Oh, it's
So
still morning. Come on, don't worry.
I'm Stefan from Vienna, from the Innovation in Politics Institute, and I just wanted to say quickly that we want to start the European Capital of Democracy initiative this year. So that might fit into the general topic, and I'm glad to meet you all and hear more about the Innovation Capital.
Thank you, Stefan, and good morning to Vienna. I see Titus. Hi, Titus.
Hi, everyone. Yes, so I'm Titus from the city of Leeds. I noticed I'm the only UK city on the call, I think, but I am right in thinking that as this is Horizon Europe, that there is a chance that UK cities will be eligible to apply to this award. Is that correct? Just before going any further with the meeting.
Yes, I see the heads nodding, so please stay with us, Titus. Your time will be for sure rewarded by the end of the webinar. So yes, and yes, go.
It's great to see. Just to say, it's great to see our partner cities Dortmund and Lille on the call as well. So hello to them both.
Thank you very much. I see that also we have representative of Rzeszów. I'm probably the only one who can spell the name correctly. Hello, Joanna. Joanna is muted, but I think we can just move to the, is any, I see another hand up. No, it's Titus. If you can put your hand down, that would be good. Okay, so now, Katalin, please start to share your screen and we can kick off with your presentation.
Yes, one moment, good morning. Let's see if this last year helped me to master the Microsoft Teams skills. Can you see my presentation now?
Yes, we can see now. You can go into the presentation mode, slideshow.
Yeah, but you must put it on the full screen. Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Perfect.
Is it fine now? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I must tell you that I don't see this.
Yes, and just for all of you, just for information of all of you, we'll share the presentations presented today in the follow-up email, so you can focus on the content, and we'll share the materials later on. So the floor is yours, Catalina and Jorge.
Yes, sure. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Alexandra and colleagues from the Eurocities for the invitation. We are very happy to be once again together with you in this type of webinar to meet cities that we've met so far already in the iCapital previous editions, but also new cities, because that's also a goal from our side. We want to open up the contest, I mean the competition to as many cities as possible, and you'll see how, I mean, in the following minutes, how we thought that it would be good to proceed this way this year. And I would like also to thank all the city representatives for their interest in the 7th edition of the European Capital of Innovation Awards. And of course, last but not least, to Catherine from the city of Leuven, who won last year the big title, the European Capital of Innovation Award. I must say that we've met Catherine basically only online, so even though we are very close to Leuven, due to the pandemic, we haven't been able to meet her and all the team there. But I must tell you that it was a very nice experience last year, also with the hearings and that we had with all the cities. And we despite this remoteness, we felt also the city's vibe and interest and willingness to showcase their initiatives and how they work with the innovation ecosystem stakeholders at the end of the day and citizens to improve the life of the citizens at the end of the day. So today's our objective for today is to present you what we have updated in terms of the concept of the European Capital of Innovation Prize. I will do this together with my colleague Jorge Canovas, who will intervene at a later stage in the presentation. I must say that we are part of, for the colleagues, for the representatives of the cities that know the city, know the prize. I must say that we have changed also a bit the overall, let's say, context that where we have in which we find the prize. So basically now we have a new house, a new home for the European Capital of Innovation Award, which is the European Innovation Council and SMEs Executive Agency that was established by the European Commission as of 1st of April 2021, so very recently. The goal of the agency is to basically to implement various programs under the Horizon Europe framework program, such as the European Innovation Council or the European Innovation Ecosystems work program. And under these files, basically we have pinned this year under the European Innovation Council 4 prizes. The iCapital, as I've mentioned, also the European EU Prize for Women Innovators, the European Social Innovation Competition, and the European Innovation Procurement Awards. And why we are hosting now this year the iCapital under the European Innovation Council is because after various consultations with the stakeholders, we realized that there is a need to focus a little bit more the project, the concept of the prize towards highlighting more the role of the cities in the overall European innovation ecosystems, but also the role of the cities in the innovation ecosystem at the local level. So that's one point. Then we are also linked to the European Innovation Council because the European Innovation Council is very unique and a new novelty under the Horizon Europe work program, which is basically a one-stop shop of 10 billion euros that aims to support and to scale up breakthrough technologies and disruptive innovation in Europe. And we are doing this because we've seen that at Europe in general is very good at is number one in the world on various aspects when it comes to research, but it's not we are not very good when it comes to translating the research excellence into innovation excellence, and we are not we still have issues when it comes to funding ideas from lab to go from lab to market, and also to support companies in their scaling up processes. So that's where the EIC comes in and brings some funding opportunities for different stakeholders like researchers, startups. And we've also observed that innovation ecosystems in general in Europe are not very well connected among themselves. I mean, cross-border, speaking at the cross-border level, but also at the local level. So through the European Innovation Ecosystems Work Program, what we will aim to do is to connect regional and national innovation actors, such as national innovation agencies, cities, universities, investors, corporates, startup accelerators and incubators, foundations, research centers, and also citizens with the activities of these stakeholders. And we basically, through the European Innovation Ecosystems Work Program, we will aim to improve the connectedness and to foster, connectedness of these stakeholders, but also to support the scaling up of companies, the support towards early stage accelerators, and to foster a European entrepreneurial culture at various levels of different innovation stakeholders. So, but we can, we wanted to give you this overview of where we are in terms of the work programs. So I won't spend much time on the context where we are found today. And for more information, we can also provide you links and also presentations after the webinar. Going forward to present you more in detail the Capital of Innovation Award. What we aim to do this year, as mentioned, is to recognize the role of the role cities play as shapers of the local innovation ecosystem, and the role as catalysts of game-changing innovation. We want to see also how the cities make possible these innovations to happen. I mean, how the cities can how they support startups, for example, ideas from universities going towards the market, and etc. But for this, I will leave Jorge to explain a little bit more in detail the work criteria. For the colleagues and for the representatives who weren't very aware of the previous editions of the iCapital prize, I must say that this is the 7th edition of this competition. We have started in 2014 when Barcelona won the award. Then we had a small gap, and we restarted in 2016 when Amsterdam was crowned the capital of innovation. Then we had Paris. We also had Athens, and in 2019 Nantes won the award. And as we mentioned earlier, Leuven was the big winner in 2020, together with 5 runners-up. And you can see in this on the left hand side of the presentation these pins on the map that basically show you which were the cities that were the runners-up, and you can have a sort of overview, a geographical overview about the countries that they come from. Yeah, and as I said, this year we are looking to recognize basically the cities for their inclusive innovation ecosystems, for their actions when it comes to citizens' involvement, and also for their adoption of innovative concepts and governance models, while also looking at the way they facilitate ecosystem building and how they act as role models as well for others. And a very important a novelty for this year will be also to showcase, I mean, that we would like the cities to showcase how they can, how their city innovative vision looks like. But I will pass the floor now to Jorge to provide you more details about the new categories, about the award criteria, and then we can take also questions at the end of the presentations after Katherine's intervention. Many thanks. Jorge?
Thank you, Catalin, and good morning, everyone. My name is Jorge Cánovas, and thank you all for being here. So all this introduction that my colleague Catalin has made has been reflected in the first step in the new categories. As you can see, as you remember from the last year, then all the cities were competing in the same category, what was called the European Capital of Innovation. So this year, also to give more chances to more cities to apply, and also to make some distinction between the population, then we have established 2 categories. The first one will be the what you all know, the European Capital of Innovation. That is that will be for cities from 250,000 inhabitants. So the winner of this award will receive 1 million euros, and then this year, instead of having 5 runners-up, we will have only 2 runners-up, and each one will be awarded with 100,000. And then the new category that we have established this year is called the European Rising Innovative City. This one is open to cities from 50,000 inhabitants, and then the winner will have 500,000, with two runners-up. It was important, as we saw during the different editions and also through the different consultations processes that we had with the stakeholders, that we saw that there were many cities, especially across Europe. We have really small and medium-sized cities who wanted to apply to this competition, and then with the way that it was conceived before, it was not possible for them. So that's why now we have created these 2 categories. So hopefully, then also more cities will be able to apply. And then, of course, both categories, both finalists and will have. We will work to recognize and to give more visibility to the work that they do in their innovation ecosystems, and that's why we will invite them also to join our alumni network. You know that during the year we do some activities, especially for these cities, to help them to promote, to help them to exchange practices. So this is also something that they will integrate this new network. And then talking about the eligibility criteria, you have already seen it in the previous slide. So of course, then the city must be located in a member state or associated country, as our city from UK as before. Then later, if you want, we can go a bit. We can explain you in the FAQs part a bit more about this concept. But then this is something that then we confirm you that these cities will be able to apply. So here also you have the population, the minimum population for each of the categories, and then as this was the case in previous years, then the winners of the former Capital Innovation Awards, they cannot compete, they are not eligible, and then also the runners-up of the 2020 edition, they are not eligible to this competition. So now let's start with the criteria. Let's put a bit exactly what we will be asking all of you when the jury members, they will review your applications, what they will be looking at. So Catalin made a really good presentation. He put the frame of where we are now, because it's quite different to where we were before. And now the New Horizon Europe has established, as he said, the European Innovation Council program and also the European Innovation Ecosystem. So these big European policies, they will have to be somehow represented in our iCapital cities. So that's why it will be important that you really take a look to what are the policies at European level, and you showcase and demonstrate how your city is the best one tackling these different criteria. One thing that we always say to all the cities, that is really important, not only that you say the city does this and this and this, our policy is this or the other one. What the jury members, they always look for is concrete results, figures, examples, projects, something that they can really see, that you can demonstrate why your city has to be the winner. So don't forget to put concrete examples and concrete results, not only general policies, because if not, the jury members will not be able to assess in real the results. So the first award criterion here is the experimenting. Here, what we want to see is then how your city is the best test bed for innovative practices in Europe. We want to see what are your innovative concepts, your processes, your tools, your governance models to make your city a living lab, where your citizens can be involved and the innovation is in the process to help is for the benefit of the citizens. In the second award criterion, we want is the call escalating. As we said before, one important part for us is the European innovation ecosystem. So then what we want to know and we want to see is what your city does to create or to promote an adequate environment for innovation to flourish. So we are looking for here how you are attracting startups, SMEs, how you are going to establish innovation-friendly legal frameworks, how you are promoting the public and private investment, resources, the attraction of talents, and also in these legal frameworks, how you drive innovation demand, for example, through innovation public procurement. So all this has been is quite important also to show the growth, the sustainable show of the city. The award criterion number 3 is the ecosystem building. So it goes again in the whole idea of the synergies, in the whole idea of stakeholders. So we want to see here what your city is doing to facilitate these synergies about the among the different ecosystems stakeholders. If before we wanted to see how you attract the talent and the resources to your city. Here, what we want to see is what you do with the talent and with the stakeholders that you have already in your ecosystem. So we want to demonstrate how you unlock your potential to be a facilitator for the European ecosystems. We want to see what you do with the public, industry, civil society, academia, citizens. So all of this, then how is related and how you enhance these synergies. The number 4, it's the criterion expanding. So we, as before Catalin explained really well, so we have seen that the way that our European innovation ecosystems are spread around Europe are not all at the same level. So what we want is that one city helps the other, that one city becomes a role city for the others to follow, that the winner will be a team player for innovation ecosystems for the efforts. So we want to see what you are doing to help other cities to disseminate and how your solutions are replicable across Europe. We want to see how you promote mutual learning, the knowledge transfer, and also the capacity building. So all this cooperation between cities that are at different stage or different maturity, then it will be important for us to see. And the last one, it will be this new concept also, the city innovative vision. If you remember before, we had a deadline that you could only apply with activities that were 1 year prior to the contest. So this deadline has been deleted, and now what we are looking for is this long-term strategy, the vision plan that the city has to be sustainable, where you were and where you the departure point, and where you aim to be. So all these long-term strategies will be also assessed by the jury. So it's not only a snapshot from one moment. So with all these 5 criteria, then now you have the timeline. The call is already open, so the deadline to submit it, you have time until the 15th of July. So please, we always say to all of you, don't leave it until the last moment, because in case that there is a problem with the system, because all of you applied at the same moment or something happens, we will not be able to do anything. So at 5 o'clock on 15th of July, we close the system, and if it's not there and registered, then it's not will not be valid. So, and then from that moment, the jury members will do the remote evaluation. We will invite the cities to a hearing, either in Brussels if the situation allows it, or if not, it will be remote, as it was the case last year. We will invite them to a hearing in October. That the hearings will be really important for you. If you want later, we can discuss about the hearings in the FAQs. And finally, the award ceremony will be at the end of the year, November or December. So these are the novelties of iCapital. And if you want later, we can go through together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jorge and Catalin. Very clear presentation. And now I will give the floor to the winner of the 2020 award, City of Leuven. Catherine, could you put your slides? And I will give you now the floor. Thank you very much. We can see them. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So my slides are shared. Did I understand that well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here. So also from my part, a big thank you to Eurocities for inviting us. Very happy to see Jorge and Catalin again also. And so I will be taking 15 minutes to share with you, in all modesty, the Leuven approach and the content that we put into our dossier to take away the iCapital Award in 2020. Leuven is a student city. It's a city close to Brussels, just 20 kilometers away. It counts 100,000 inhabitants and 50,000 students. And our university is 600 years old and is one of the most innovative ones across the world. And so it's this university also that inspires for centuries now an innovative ecosystem with many startups, for example, and spin-offs that really, together with a progressive government, really inspire an innovative and open mindset in our community. In 2013, Leuven 2030 was founded. It's a city-brought NGO that wants to be the engine for the urban climate transition. And I'm Katrien, a director of this organization. And what has been very unique in this choice, which was a political choice, is that the city government did choose not to put itself solely behind the wheel of this urgent urban climate transition, but to found Leuven 2030 as an organization, and a non-for-profit organization, in which also businesses, civil society, and knowledge institutions are equally represented. So we have a general assembly, we have a board of directors, we have an executive committee, in which every time all cornerstones of society are equally represented to discuss strategies and implementations. So that is an example, we believe, of governance innovation that can be an important lever for achieving your mission. And that's the second very important point. We believe that in Leuven we have a broadly shared mission, which is in this case moving towards climate neutrality in a very fast way and doing so in a socially just way. And that is a mission that is broadly shared, it is undersigned, and it is also scientifically based. So from the beginning, we have always chosen to be scientifically substantiated. So every choice we make, every strategy that we approve of with our partners is being verified from a scientific point of view. So we don't want to go for hollow marketing, city marketing. We want to authentically make the change. When we saw in 2018, that carbon emissions were not dropping fast enough, despite many initiatives and a lot of enthusiasm and helpful game-changing recognitions. Our board of directors ordered us to make up a roadmap to clearly show where the gap is between all the initiatives that are taken up, that were strong stories, very inspiring initiatives, and what should have been done from a scientific point of view. And so this roadmap is a very thick book, 170 pages, but you can consult it online in an English version, an executive summary. And you see on this slide how 15 key stakeholders of the Leuven community have undersigned this document. During a sold-out conference in Leuven, in front of press, they have expressed, and they have undersigned it on a strategic level, they have expressed that this roadmap also for them is the way forward for Leuven, and that they would align their own policy from their own organization with this broadly shared roadmap. And this roadmap just draws out timelines and draws out all the challenges we face if we want to move towards climate neutrality in a socially just way. And so we chose timelines in which all choices we have to make as a community between 2019 and 2050 are noted. And it's at that point when we had that clear roadmap, which is pretty project driven, that we were selected in the Healthy Clean Cities program of EIT Climate Kick, together with wonderful cities like Madrid, Milan, Amsterdam, Vienna, Copenhagen, to work on deep demonstrations of radical climate action. Because we all understand that incremental changes, upscaling of what we know today, doing things better than what we know today will not be sufficient. And that, besides all that important work, we also need to look for new levers that that can enable more radical change in a way that it is politically viable, in a way that it is viable for people, for their mindsets, that you don't lose the people you need to make the change. And so that has been a tremendously interesting collaboration that we started off the end of 2019. That's still going on. And it feeds into this spinning wheel where we put very clearly up front in this shared urban mission in Leuven that how we bundle forces, how we collaborate is all about how can we preserve and strengthen the health and well-being of our citizens, knowing the challenges that we will face more and more, and how can innovation be the force to keep, to make this wheel spinning, and how can technological innovation be strengthened by governance and social innovation and by climate innovation, and how can these three kinds of open-minded new pathways, how can this help a community like Leuven move forward to the mission that they broadly share? We know that this mission, and that's based upon a federal study, will ask for a yearly investment of €1,000 at least per person per year to make this happen. And we have also a study from material economics that shows that this transition of Leuven towards climate neutrality, which is undoubtedly also, it can be transferred to other cities' context. It is an interesting, a positive economic business case. It's something that needs huge upfront investment, but that if you're willing to be patient, and if you can deblock certain lock-ins, which has a very interesting return on investment, all the more if you also monitorize benefits like health benefits, for example, if you're evaluating towards a city with better air quality, for example. And so then we've also studied from an economic perspective, if we want this transition to be economically interesting, what are the prerequisites? And so there's 8 challenges that we now know that we face as a city if we want this transition to be economically viable and interesting. And one of those is, for example, the encouragement of entrepreneurs to develop climate solutions. And so, for example, there's in Leuven a focus now that has been strengthened by the iCapital award to focus on innovative startups, scale-ups, entrepreneurs to move this transition forward, because it's very clear that we need the entrepreneurial spirit to make this transition happen. And so Leuven is more than happy to be one of Europe's many city labs of the future. We are strongly convinced that the change will happen in cities, will need to happen in cities, and that's the place where we need to develop new ways for change, and that this requires political courage, but it goes beyond political courage, of course, because experimenting and trying out more radical steps it has a lot to do with systemic approaches, with strategic learning. It has a lot to do with failing also and learning from what does not work out like you've intended to. And so this demands a certain mindset, a certain spirit that has been, further encouraged by the iCapital award. And so we're more than happy that with the European Green Deal and a European ambition to become climate neutral by 2050, and surrounded by so many climate ambitious cities, and strengthened by awards like the European Capital of Innovation, cities like Leuven can, be part of the forerunners, from the front-running team, to help the whole continent move forward. To finish up my presentation, I think just a few examples of what this award has meant for Leuven, because if we were talking earlier on game changers, this is definitely one. And so only last week, the city government has launched as a post-COVID measure, has announced as a post-COVID measure, the launch of a city transformation fund, which has really been accelerated by the award, and which is a fund that will be public-private that will exist out of 3 funds, sub-funds, a support fund, a venture fund, and an infrastructure fund. All of these to enable entrepreneurial initiatives, startups, to develop products and services that help us move towards our dot on the horizon. And so it's a new financial mechanism that will be brought to life soon, because we're working on it as we speak. There's a study that we can share when interested, that will enable, through the infrastructure fund, to have citizens participate, to have citizens put their money in this transition. It enables startups to develop the right products and services to move forward, and it attracts venture capital to this change. And another one is that we have a 2-yearly innovation festival. It took place completely online just last week, and the baseline is Innovate for the Better. And I think that's an important point too. So we're not talking about innovation for the sake of innovation. It's about improving, safeguarding and improving our prosperity as we know it today. And this End Festival, which was now just a few days every 2 years, is being transformed into a continuous city transformation studio in which we want to further connect with other cities and internally with our local stakeholders on making the change happen, on connecting structurally research capacity with what we, for example, experience as challenges on the terrain when we're trying to work towards deep demonstrations on radical climate action, for example. And so it's bringing together entrepreneurs, researchers, experimenters, policymakers in this continuously transformation studio, city transformation studio, to make the change happen and to feed into the local dynamics and ecosystems. And this is all about enrolling a snowflake model, building the engine of inclusive innovation, which is really, really important, the inclusive part of the innovation. It's about distributing leadership, empowering citizens, not only involving them, but empowering them. And it's about mission-oriented entrepreneurship. And so my key takeaways for all the interested cities here on board is that when you're applying, please start from your shared urban missions, start very clearly from what you're trying to achieve on the long term. Start from what influences the identity of your city, really start from the core of what identifies your city, what's specific to your city, unique to your city. Know that it's not about innovation for innovation's sake. We have such huge challenges amongst all these cities. We are eager to find solutions, so be very clear about how your innovation is contributing to this shared challenge. Take good care of an authentic, strong storyline. It helps if you can bring your initiatives and your ambitions into a clear storyline. Don't be abundant just to be abundant. We were very sober and very spot on in our dossier. I think also the word limit will help you to be spot on. But you know, being limited helps you go to the focus and the essence. Demonstrate your impact, of course, and share. But that's maybe partly similar with the first point, share your dot on the horizon. Be very clear. Don't only talk about what you've done, but also on what you're trying to achieve in the long run. And so my takeaway is that I'm pretty confident that city networks will be leveraging climate action, that I would want to share with you the invitation to keep sharing practices and experiences with each other, because cities will be key in safeguarding our prosperity. So I see all of us as very crucial and important partners. And I want to thank you for your interest in inclusive innovation that's mission-oriented. So I wish you all the best of luck with your applications later this year. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much. very interesting presentation, and I truly appreciate that you already put it the takeaways and the recommendations for the next applicants. So thank you very much. I see that we have a couple of questions in the chat. I will ask them, but if you also would like to take a floor and ask the question by yourself, just please raise your hand and then unmute yourself and just do it. So Jorge and Kathleen, we have questions related to which cities, which entities can apply. So can you actually confirm that the metropolitan areas, the intermunicipal authorities, like the ones that are quite common in France, can also apply for the awards? Jorge, you are muted.
I thought that Jorge wanted to intervene. Yes, they are eligible for application. I think the question came from Christophe.
Yes.
So, yes, as it was done also in the past. I mean, last year and 2 years ago. Yes, everything is fine from this perspective, and we are looking forward to receiving your application.
And how about? Sorry.
About the hearings?
Yes, about the hearings, the question from Dortmund. So how many cities are actually will be invited for the hearings in October?
So this year we will invite a maximum of 10 cities in each of the categories. So then it will be maximum 10 and 10. So as we said, each one will compete in its category. So for the hearings also, well, we will add the people that will arrive to the hearings. Then as Catherine said, in the whole process, it's always important that you refer to facts, to something really concrete, not only general policies that we always say to people to go to the point, straight to the point, as Catherine said before. So that's really important for all the competition.
Great. How about with the possibilities of applying from the candidate countries, like for example from Turkey? Can they apply for the awards?
Yes. So for the time being, the Commission is looking to continue the collaboration with the previous associated countries as for Horizon 2020. As you may know, these agreements are not yet settled, but of course the main goal would be that we accept, of course, the applications from Turkey, for example, provided that the agreements with the associated countries are signed by the time of the award decision of the prize. So that would be also very important to mention at this stage, because throughout the entire period of the Horizon Europe, which lasts up until 2027, countries can be associated to the framework program also throughout this entire period, so they can join Horizon Europe in 2025, for example.
Okay, I don't see more questions for now in chat, so please feel free to put them on, also raise your hands. I have a question myself. So you mentioned that the winners and the finalists of the previous years will not be able to apply this time, but is it like they cannot since this edition, or just starting from this edition? So if you apply now, you cannot, or the cities that have already applied, they cannot be take part in the contest?
So the winners for all the editions, so we have Leuven, Barcelona, Amsterdam, so all of them, as they were already the winners of iCapital, they are not eligible again for this competition. And then the runners-up, so the 5 cities runners-up from last year, so those are also that are not eligible to compete again this year. So
okay,
but the other runners-up from the other edition, so only the 5 runners-up from last year.
Okay, great. We have the question from Dortmund. Angela, maybe you can unmute yourself and ask your question directly.
Yeah, sure. Just a very concrete question about the application itself. There's one headline that says concept and methodology, and I was wondering if you could give some details of what you are expecting here.
Well, I think it's the standard I mean, this is the standard application form for Horizon Europe that we use this year. So basically, it's a bit changed than we had in the past when we had the when we focused in the application form only on the work criteria. Now, I mean, it's also it's up to you what would you like to. I mean, in terms of the length of the text, it's also up to you how long you want to make the content. Just because we have in total 30 pages for this part B, so it's up to you to, for instance, in terms of length, to decide how long the each point of the application form will be covered. But in terms of concept and methodology, indeed, this is a bit general this year. It's let's say we are using the overall application form for Horizon Europe, but you can add. I mean, you can extend here what you would add in the abstract. I mean, in the abstract you have many 2,000 characters. You can explain here the overall concept of the application if you wish. You can describe also the ideas that are also mentioned in the award criteria.
Okay, and
I'm
so
not
this
very
means.
sure if this is very straight to the point.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Oh, thank you. I was also wondering the different criterion where you have to put your text in. So there is no limitation to the characters for this. Just the altogether page number is 30 for the explanations plus whatever you want to put in the back part. Is that right? Okay.
Yes. In this year we allow applicants to have up to 30 pages in total. Last year, I mean, in the past, we've had indeed a shorter application form, but with annexes. So those annexes became, at the end of the day, part of the application, and in general, I think it was also still up to 30 pages. So this year, indeed, there is no limitation in terms of characters. You have only the page limitation, but of course, our recommendation is that, as also Katrin mentioned, is that that cities go straight to the point and focus exactly on the ideas, on how they were implemented, what are the results, and actually to show the jury members at the end of the day how feasible and what was the impact of those activities.
Okay, but so how would you differentiate what to put in the annex and what to put in the form?
So, Angela, there is no annex this time.
Oh, there is nothing.
There is no annex this time. Yes, okay. No annex.
Ah, okay.
And one more important aspect, what's also mentioned in the rules of contest, is that the application form structure can be changed. So you should follow the template which is offered, meaning also the line, the spacing, the font size as well, the header and the footer. I mean, they should remain like in the mock application form that you have on the website. So no extra change done for the application form.
Okay, but this also means that you cannot really include graphics, pictures, and stuff like that. So you can only use pure text. Is that right then?
No, you can use whatever you in the 30 pages that you will have. Then you are free to do, let's say, whatever you want in this with these 30 pages. So in this time, we wanted to give you completely freedom to use the spaces that you have. So instead of giving you, okay, here 2,000 characters, so you are free to use it. But maybe Catherine, you can comment a bit on how was your application, if you want, from the how big it was, because I remember that it was not the biggest one. That so then it's not important using the 30 pages. What is important? So maybe Catherine, if you want to comment a bit how you did it from the practical point of view, then what is so Catherine, maybe you are the perfect example to say that.
Yeah, I have our dossier open here. So we had 17 pages. And if I remember well, because it was a colleague who had the final redaction, we could use, I think, per part, I'm counting, but I think 2 pictures per 2 pictures and 1 graph per criterion. And so that was tough because, of course, you have much more images to share, and images and graphics can be very complementary to the text that you write. And so because you're very limited in how you can present your dossier, I think it's very important that the images, the graphics and text are complementary, and that you don't repeat 2 things, but that they all form a whole. And so we've already combined 1 image with 1 graphic to show that we measure impact of the innovation that takes place. But so I think word limit also has invited us to be very secure and specific on the essence of our story. What is it? What message do we really want to get across? Because there's so much to tell, and the tough work is, I don't know what the word is in English, but to get to the essence, and that's work that needs to be thought through, I think. So don't try to tell everything, but try to tell where you make the difference. Yeah. But it's hard because you're always wanting to tell everything.
And Catherine, just out of curiosity, how long you have been working on the application, and what was the structure of the team in the city who dedicated time and resources to apply?
I think it might be atypical how it went in Leuven, because it was a collaboration between the city and then 2 network organizations, Leuven Mindgate and Leuven 2030. So it was a collaboration between 3 partners from the city. It was mainly followed up by the mayor himself and the city manager, and then just 1 person from the economic international department, and then from Leuven Mindgate perspective, the network organization Leuven Mindgate that works more on the corporate international part of Leuven. That was the director who followed up together with his communication responsible person, and then from Leuven 2030, it was my colleague who's has a very strong English pen, so he's a very strategic and analytical mind, and he's very well in writing text and in doing what I find hard to do. It's leaving things out, and then there was myself. So it was I'm counting 3 plus. We were 7 to take this dossier further, and the hardest work was for my colleague, or the most intense work, and so I think he's been working. It's been a while. But the last month, I think it was almost full-time. And then the months before, I think it might be half-time. So maybe 2 months half-time and then 1 full-time month. And then we had very, very regular meetings because all of these people have different perspectives on what's happening where, and how is this innovation, and how can this build into our storyline. We also had an external professional who helped us with working on that storyline, so a professional storytelling agency, because it helps to get your content across in a coherent way, in a persuasive way, in an inspiring way.
Sure. I see Emma has a question. Emma, can you unmute yourself and ask the question by yourself?
Hi, I'm
Hi.
from Marseille, like Luke introduced himself at the beginning. I was wondering what you expect about the identification of partners in the application. What forms have been used before? Like Catherine, if you can answer that. But you already said that you were three partners at the beginning to apply. So I was wondering, how do you do, and what do you expect? Am I clear enough?
Yes. Now I will give back again the floor to Catherine to go if you want something else about the partners. So here it's important to recall that the one who has to be the applicant, so the leader in the application, is the city. Because we have spotted that maybe in the template form there's a part that is not maybe can be understood some kind of partnerships, etc. But what it's important is the rule of context states that the applicant is the city. So will be in that case, for example, Leuven, and then what Catherine did, as she just explained, they had the support of the different stakeholders within the city. So that's for all of you. You have to know that the city is the only one who is eligible to apply. But if you want, Catherine, to go a bit more on the partnerships, on the support, as you said.
Yeah, I think what Leuven put in beyond a partnership is that it was one of the elements in our dossier, the governance innovation part, where in Leuven, through network organizations like Leuven Mindgate and Leuven 2030, we structurally collaborate with all cornerstones of society. And I think that the structural element in that phrase is important. So there's network organizations with a general assembly, with a board of directors, with executive committees, in which all kind of stakeholders are structurally committed to collaborate on strategies and on the implementation of these strategies. And I think that's one of the elements that has been appreciated by the jury, that this is a kind of governance innovation that is not yet very known, but that helps activate distributed leadership and ownership on a shared mission. And so it enables people to empower themselves from their role within the community as a citizen, as an expert, as an employee, as an employer. And I think that was one of the elements that was brought in. And so we were happy to collaborate with the city, which of course was the partner that applied. But in our application, it already said that the city was supported in this partnership by the two network organizations.
Thank you very much.
Helpful.
Christoph?
Yes, thank you. A question maybe to Kathleen or Jorge. I was wondering whether the application is evaluated more on the city's assets or the city's action that it has been done in the past, or it's just being developed, implemented, or in the vision, in the program the city is committed to engage in.
Well, Christoph, so first of all, the prize is a recognition prize. So we are recognizing past achievements, past actions, past activities. Then, just because we've observed in the past, over the last years, and also just because communities, stakeholders raise this point, we introduced also the award criterion number 5 about the city vision when it comes to the innovation overall, and what is the overall goal when it comes to implementing all these innovative processes, concepts, etc. So if you have these, if these activities already underpinned, let's say in a sort of strategy, please mention it. If they make part of an overall big initiative, strategy, etc., it would be good to mention it over there. Of course, you can also mention what the city would like to do next. But as it was already highlighted before, try not to include, just to add text, and information for the sake of information. Try to show how feasible that vision it is, that strategy can be. What would be the KPIs? For example, I'm starting to brainstorm now with you, and it's not very very fine. I don't want to give let's say many ideas, so that it's not perceived as an extra support to some cities, but try to show the feasibility of that of those actions all the time, so you can focus on past achievements, and also on the long-term run, on the future. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I see that Flor, you have a question regarding the sharing the application. Yes? Hi, Flor. Yes, yes, it was also the question. I had this question from different cities, because it's not only to City of Leuven, but also the previous winners and finalists. So if the applicants would like to check the applications from previous years, how they should proceed, they should contact directly the city, or they can reach out to you, Kathleen, or Jorge. How is it possible? And is it?
Yeah. Okay. So the application, as Catherine said, is finalized her document. So she will check with the mayor, and they will check internally, and they will come back to them. Anyway, if people want, in the website of iCapital 2020, then they have already a big explanation of why Leuven was the winner. So they have the big part of all the projects that they were highlighted, and they were taking that they were one of the reasons why the jury members decided why Leuven was the winner.
Thank you. And Jorge, coming back to the jury members, who are those people who decide? And also, I sometimes receive the question from our members, can they lobby for the candidature? So can they reach out to the members of the jury, or is it a secret?
No, it's secret, as you can imagine. Then all the decision about the jury composition is governed by the Horizon Europe rules and all the calls that are at the European level. So then the jury experts, first of all, they are a representation of the different member states. So we have a geographical balance. That's important for you to highlight. And also there is a gender balance. So then that's also that is important, these two criteria. And then the names of the jury members, they remain completely confidential until the very end, as you said before, because then it's like this, nobody can lobby them, they cannot contact. And then we are really strict with the jury, that they cannot even disclose this information, that they are part of the jury panel, not even in any kind of, not even in their works. So then because we don't want that the names are public and to avoid problems. And I even remember that then when they were having the very end during the hearing, and at the end, that they could only see the name of the jury, but not the. So this is really we are really careful with this thing of the confidentiality. So to avoid problems.
Thank you. Do we have another questions coming from the participants? I have a question. Is it the testing year for this type of the division, for this type of the new criteria, or is it like 4 years, 5, 7 years vision, or like how it will be next year? Do you already know?
Well, no, we don't know. Alexandra.
No, that's just good to know.
For the time being, iCapital 2021 is foreseen for the EIC, European Innovation Council Work Program 2021. then in 2022, we will have to see what will be the concept. But of course, we like stability, and depending on the timing, we will see whether we can still, I don't know, update the concept or not. But actually, we would like, I mean, we really like this version, and we would like to go forward with it. So at this moment, we don't foresee changes in 2022. So stability shall be the key. But of course, more information will follow in the following, in the next months.
That's good to hear. I see that Catherine has many requests related to the sharing of the application. So we will leave it to her if it will be possible. I have just, maybe I did not understand fully from your presentation, Catherine, but what are you planning to do with this 1 million euros as a city administration?
Well, a part has been awarded to both network organizations to, help them lever the work they do towards that shared mission on inclusive innovation for the health and well-being of our citizens through, for example, the urban climate transition. And part of it will be going to the City Transformation Studio and City Transformation Fund. So the choice of the government was to put this award money instantly into the ecosystem so that it can further mature and accelerate. Yeah, so it's not one specific thing, but it's feeding into the ecosystem. Yeah.
That's great. Lovely to hear that. And just to be specific, you did not put how you will use the money in the application. It was decided after.
No, we suggested in the application that we would want to start with a City Transformation Academy was the name back then, I think. So it was changed into Studio in the meanwhile, where we wanted to, that was the City Lab idea. Which is already happening in certain places in the city. But if you start with an academy or a studio and you have a board and you structurally engage your partners in this kind of mindset and work, and you bring together structurally on that topic your entrepreneurs and your researchers and your policymakers, then that will further accelerate the work that so many people in the city already take up. So it was mentioned.
Thank you very much. I love to see life going on the screens. Hi, Angela, the sun. I think we are out of the questions for now, but I see that members are hungry for more, and they will write and contact our colleagues Jorge and Catalin and Catherine. So thank you very much for your time. Just to shortly sum up, please remember about the deadline, which is mid-June, as I recall. Do not submit the application for the last minute. Think about the vision in a very good storytelling way, and also how it impacts the whole innovation ecosystems, and what is the vision, the long-term vision of your city. This is the one webinar that we organize with the Commission. We always with the European Innovation Council and SMEs and Executive Agency. I have to learn this long name. And now, of course, we organize those every year. But if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or the general email of the iCapital Award. Thank you very much for your participation. We'll share the recording from the webinar with you, together with the links to the presentation. Catherine collected the emails of the colleagues that would like to have receive the application. And yes, so I think we can wrap it up for now. I don't know, Jorge, Kathleen, Catherine, Catalin, do you have any other final remarks to make?
Just from my side, just to thank everyone for participating, and we are looking forward to meeting you. Now it's a matter on how, but Feel free to send us any question at the email address that was shared by Jorge in the chat box. We are open to any question that would ease up your work in writing the application. And of course, hopefully we will meet in over the summer during the hearings. So yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Alexandra, once again.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Anna, for help. Okay, so let's have a good day, and thank you very much, and see most of you, I am pretty sure, quite soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Anna, can you wait 1 second, of course? And we can